Is there a way to make this process go quicker? Um, so that coming to self is not a painful process. And if you do have some healing challenges, it can come quicker. Is there a miracle that that can come about to speed up this process so we don't have to work so hard and spend a long time, especially if some of us are more senior? I don't have that much time.
Okay, so we've only got a couple minutes left, but I'll
Mhm.
ask them what they can say to that.
Yeah.
What can you say to this? So they said, what we'll say to this is that you are on the path that is perfect for you, as your soul designed it. So yes, yourself and all of your parts, you all came down together to do this. And they're acknowledging that this may be hard for some parts to hear, or parts that don't want to hear that. And they're saying they don't have to hear it. They don't have to believe it. They don't have to welcome it in. And they're extending their compassion for parts. How do you want to put this? Parts that struggle with it. They're really talking about struggling with what they feel is a slow pace. And then they're also talking about compassion for the parts that if it went any faster, and they're talking, not only would it be terrifying for those parts, but they're actually showing those parts would dig their heels in even further, like way further, like really digging their heels in and just completely stopping the process. It's like it cannot move forward without their consent. Like it cannot move forward without their consent. They're talking about, this is why people talk about how slow is fast in IFS. Because when you start with the slowest parts and you give them all the space that they need and all the time that they need, and they're talking about, again, it's this paradox of IFS. It's this paradox that we often run into, is when you give them exactly what they need and you just fully respect that boundary that they have, it gives them permission on a deeper level to release that boundary when the time is right for them. And they're talking about it working with the parts within the part. Like it brings safety not to just that individual part, but all the parts within that individual part. They're talking about like beautiful divine safety. And again, they're talking about unconditional love, unconditional acceptance. And again, it seems so slow at first because we grow up being taught to kind of push through things and to be fast and to make things happen. And we've been given this framework of what progress looks like and results and things like that. And they're actually saying how that's just an idea that we've been given, and that it's actually the complete opposite of that, and that this slow, gentle, loving way of moving with parts at their own individual pace, they're talking about how that speeds up the pace enormously, 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 enormously. They're talking about like how there's all these people that appear to be really self-led, and they've got all these managers that are really doing all this stuff, and they're talking about like some of those people are extraordinarily stuck there. And then you're going to find the people who looks like they were way further back, and And they're talking about how over time those people it's those people who we're going to start see, and they're opening up. It's like more of their parts are healing, and they're opening up to this what we call self leadership. And they're talking about how like it's a subtle way of being in the world. And they're saying when we have the eyes to see it with, and the individuals who do have the eyes, the lens, the perspectives to see it with, will start to notice them, and how most of them, and they're saying almost all of them, they're not going to move around the world on this big huge stage. You're going to see them, they're going to be that person that you walk past, that you meet in the store, that you're gardening with, who just, there's just something about them. There is just something about them. And there's just something really, really special about them. And it creates changes in you and opens up things in you. And they're talking about like humble and humility. And that what do you want to say around this? Again, they're saying it's like these are the people. It's not the people we expect. It's not the people that we, not even necessarily the ones that we see as being successful and achieving things and stuff like that. They're talking about sometimes it's the people that come out of the woodworks that it's like, where on earth did you come from? And how is it that you're capable of this? Um, and they're talking about that being the path of the slow is fast. And the because the slow, it's really about this deep unconditional love and acceptance of the parts that creates this. They're talking about a bottom up transformation, and how different that is from a forced and controlled top down change. It's like an attempted transformation, but it doesn't fully understand how true transformation actually happens. They're talking about like little transformations can happen in the process of the top down thing, but they're just talking about the energy isn't going in the right direction of to allow the transformation to happen. And they're showing just like a natural path for things, a natural path for individuals to achieve this transformation. And they're talking about the slow, and the slow is how that is the natural path, is the natural path, and it is the fastest way. It doesn't appear to be the fastest way. And again, they're coming back to these perspectives we have, these things we've learned, these rigid beliefs we hold from like our society on how things should look, and how success and achievement looks and all that stuff. But they're talking about this is the fastest way, is absolutely and entirely the fastest way. And they're talking about it being a beautiful way too. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Because you're loving and respecting yourself in a deep, beautiful way. And and like your parts are learning to do that too. And they're doing it for themselves, and they're doing it for each other. And it's this whole process of your whole system learning to deeply, unconditionally love and respect the entirety of you, and you, self, and all your parts. And they're all loving and respecting themselves and each other. Okay.
Thank you. That was beautiful. I got goosebumps.